All rise for the Honorable Judge Foodie.
My name's Judge Foodie. Welcome to the most prestigious food court on the internet. We have a hand-selected jury today. A couple guys. I'll give you some of their background stats here. They have 112, as of recording this episode, 112 podcasts. They're the hosts of the OG Sessions podcast. They have some of the coolest guests I've seen, at least locally in Jacksonville.
Thank you.
On a podcast. We have Nick, Usher, and Joey Allen. How'd you guys get stuck with jury duty today?
I don't know. I was laying in bed and I got called. And I got dragged here.
We got the email. I was like, oh man, here we go. This could be
Today
fun.
of all days. That's crazy, man. Well, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown for how this goes. So are you guys familiar with the website Reddit?
Yes, I've heard of it. I'm not an avid user, but I've heard of it. I know what it does.
Right, and most people are that way. I have been forced to jump into the bowels of Reddit to find the most unhinged Reddit stories about food that I can find. And I also have to dive into Yelp and try to find the craziest Yelp reviews I can find. And so what we're going to do, since this is food court, I'm going to read them and you guys have to help me make a judgment on whether the person in the story is in the wrong or the restaurant's in the wrong, or we essentially are here to pass judgment. And since you guys are the jury, I need you guys to do that. So
I am so excited.
You're up
This is
for it?
perfect. I'm down for it. It's a cool concept. I like this a lot.
I don't want to bait one of these stories too much, but one of these stories is the most unhinged thing I found so far, and I saved it for you guys because I thought you guys would get a kick out of it.
Okay.
So we're going to start off a little bit easy. This story is from a subreddit. The subreddit's called Am I Overreacting? So we have to determine if the person in the episode is overreacting based on what we hear in the story.
Okay. Question.
Okay. Shoot.
Do we know the restaurants?
So I picked one. So one thing we do every episode is I pick a local restaurant, and I picked one in the beaches areas.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read the review, and you guys are going to try to guess the restaurant.
Okay.
I love this.
Most of the rest of the stuff is either generally about food or someplace far, far away.
Okay,
awesome.
We try to keep a little local and then a little bit of something,
Yeah.
actually a lot of bit of something for everybody. So this first story is called, My Husband Brought Homemade Food to His Beautiful Young Fitness Instructor. So here we go. My side, just had second baby a few months before this. He would go off to the gym and be gone for hours when I needed him so badly with a newborn. Our life as a couple has been stagnant since we moved away from family 5 years ago. No babysitters, so no date night out together. In all that time, we've managed a few dates a year if family is around to visit. After my therapist urged me for literally years to remind him of my needs, I finally get the nerve to tell him. I mentioned how much I miss the romantic side of our relationship and the initiative he would naturally take to show me his thoughtfulness and passion. He said he neglects to do those things, includes simple gestures like inviting me for a date night in our hot tub, simply because he is so content. He acknowledged that he was slipping up since it means a lot to me. I was really looking forward to whatever efforts would be coming on his part, but nothing changed. Months later, one morning I got up earlier than usual and saw he packed the remainder of the amazing dinner he made to take to the gym. I asked him what it was for, since I knew he wasn't going to bring that to eat cold at 9 a.m. He said it was for someone else. I asked, who? He said the instructor. He never mentions that he talks to anyone there, so I asked, who? Again, and there was a reluctance when her name came out of his mouth. I've never heard of this girl, but now my Italian husband is bringing her his homemade pasta, meatballs, and sauce. It made me jealous considering the conversation we just had that amounted to nothing while I've been waiting for disappointment for months. His side. Someone is losing their shit outside right now. My God. I'm going to have to write a story about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
That's funny.
All right, his side. She just asked him jokingly to bring her Italian food because she loves it. So one day he had leftovers and just wanted to surprise her, completely platonic. I do believe he can have healthy platonic relationships with women that he works out with and sees regularly, but not mention her at all gave me a bad vibe. I told him it wouldn't hurt so bad if he had done anything like that. Thoughtful gesture for me after outright confessing how much I missed those moments in our marriage. He got a little belligerent at that point, and I never brought it up again. So do you think the OP, the original poster, is overreacting?
No.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
I feel like she voiced what she wants, and then he's gonna give it to somebody else. It's kind of weird, you know. Should have.
no, that's facts. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to do those gestures for the other chick, then
I think it's a little crazy that this is like the first time she's hearing about this yoga instructor, the first time she's hearing about the platonic relationship.
yeah.
It's a little suspicious.
If it's so platonic, why didn't anybody know about it?
Facts.
Dude, I wonder how good these meatballs must have been for him. He's like, I remember reading through some of the comments, and someone was like, "This was how I eventually had an affair, as I was trying to impress this person with food." So
way.
I don't know, man. Like,
No, he's definitely a little.
It's like a baby step, because like then she's gonna ask for more food. Then you guys are talking, and then now,
yeah, that's
now
your
you
foot
guys
in
are
the
going.
door, man.
Yeah.
Like, especially if your food's good, that's a decent way to impress a woman too.
Yeah,
yeah, no, bro's definitely cheating,
for sure.
or he's trying.
Yeah,
She
that was a
should've
quick
done- yeah,
judgment.
she should've
Yeah,
dumped
no,
him,
I
like-
mean you can see that pretty much clear as day. I think. I
She
mean,
seems so like doubtful though.
If
That's
not
I think
physically,
the
it's
comments are like
emotionally.
yelling at her too.
well, the thing is, like, I think she's really stretching to try to make it seem like he's not. I think, but the fact that he's even got the interest to take food to a girl at the gym.
If they're not, I mean, emotionally.
So yeah, here's
Sorry,
the
can we cuss
question.
on here?
Yeah, I'll just
Okay,
have to
I'm
censor
sorry,
it
I'm sorry,
later.
I'm sorry.
I don't
Okay,
care.
I won't
don't
do it
care.
again.
I do not care. I do not care.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Thank you.
Do you think they are catching them pre? Like, do you think they're catching them? Do you think this is like the gateway drug to them actually consummating an affair, or do you think she caught it early enough for this to prevent like a divorce, basically?
I think if the yoga instructor was putting it out there like that, he wouldn't have had to bring the food. Like if she was like, if she's just
She's flirting for sure.
yeah, for sure. So it's like part of me kind of thinks the yoga instructor's holding out. You know what I mean? Like she's like, you got to put in a little bit more effort.
A little more.
What I want to know
commitment
is,
this.
does the yoga instructor know about the wife? Because that's a good question
Because
right
guys
there.
lie about that stuff.
For sure. Like,
All
if the
the
yoga
time.
instructor thinks it's a single guy, it's a little bit different, right?
Especially, okay, so like if this were a scenario and I were bringing food in, I guess from her perspective, it'd be like, oh, that's weird that he made a home cooked meal. I think for whatever reason, I would assume he's single, just because it's like I would maybe think it would all get eaten or something.
Did
I
he
know that's like
For
dumb
sure.
logic, but
Did
like,
he even make the home cooked meal for his wife?
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Did he
That's
just
good.
the whole
make it to
time
have
That's
he
good.
was like,
leftovers for
That's
her?
good.
hey, can we do meatballs for dinner? And
That's
his
good.
whole intention, it had to be, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way he just like, you don't.
I mean,
wake up
if he's
and
been
think that
slacking
at night.
for so long.
Well, that's
like,
the thing. Yeah, he's been so half-assed before.
Yeah.
So it's like now, what change? Like, why are you switching up and making the good meal?
Yeah, dude.
I don't
This
know.
is- This is some marriage counseling
That's good.
stuff,
should've been
man.
That's good.
Well,
Well, yeah. The girl, the wife needs to definitely.
So
pull the
she's
trigger on that.
definitely not overreacting. So
No,
that's for sure.
No, I don't think so at all.
I guess the last question is, do you think it's too late for them?
depends on where they stand.
No,
how much grace they
I
have
would
for
say
each
it's too
other.
late. I would say it's too late.
You think so?
Like, because it's already tarnished. You don't want to, like, I don't know, man.
If it's been a while since he's been like they've had that connection, then yeah.
He's already shown his true colors. You know what I mean? Like, they're
It
never
is.
going to get
It'd
back
be
to
very
that, like-
hard to get over. That's for sure. It's probably super hurtful. I hope she takes it seriously
Yeah.
instead of just like passes it off. But yeah,
Instead of writing to Reddit about it.
Well, but I mean, then we couldn't have talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
Now she probably has a clarity now that she's seeing us talk about it.
I wonder how long this was ago, because some of these are like I have to like
Like
troll
90.
this. Oh, this is 7 months ago. So
Oh,
hopefully,
okay.
hopefully by now she's
They're at least in
I was
counseling.
like, it's the 80s or something.
she's figured it out. Oh yeah.
It's not possible.
Oh, yeah, it's Reddit, was it?
The internet was it there?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe like it's an old story they posted on Reddit from like a long
yeah,
time ago.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
again, it's like,
Were there gym instructors?
yes, it was
Yoga probably wasn't as big of a thing though.
You know,
True,
yoga used to
true.
be like a demonic thing.
So this is funny.
as a church boy, it just depends what church you go to
So,
for sure.
this is actually really funny. There was someone that like I was interested in for a little bit, and then they I'm trying to say this without people knowing who the fuck I'm talking about. So
gosh, I already know.
So then my boss, I asked him about it, and was like saying something about like, you know, like what she does, yada yada yada, and then he's very Christian, like extremely Christian guy, and and he had mentioned, he was like, yoga is like a demonic type of practice.
That's some Baptist stuff,
But
right
I will
there.
say this, though, like the way that I think it depends on the way you're doing the yoga.
Maybe the
'Cause
music you listen to. While you do it.
we've done a couple like yoga practices,
And I feel
shit like that.
great
I feel
after.
really good afterwards. I don't know if that's the devil, like
It can't be.
yeah.
To clear it up from the church angle, it just depends on your denomination.
Yeah,
it really
100%.
depends because
I
some
love
churches
God.
are gung ho, some churches like we do not care.
No, for sure. I think it's just.
But you're right. Some people definitely react that way.
Yeah, it was funny when he mentioned that because I'd never heard of that before.
I know.
Probably
And
caught
then-
you kind of off guard.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
when I think yoga, it's so peaceful. Like
Right,
everybody, like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of like meditation and things like that, but I think kind of that whole lane is a little bit like not very religious or whatever. It's,
Eastern medicine.
yeah, a little too spiritual for God, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Well, I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to score some points against our typical jury members, Nick and Mario, and guess the restaurant, guess the local restaurant.
Okay, here we go.
So they've racked up a score, but we could get some bonus points in here depending on how this goes. We'll see. But I picked a place on the beach. This is a 3-star Yelp review, and I'm gonna blank out the name of the place whenever they mention it.
Okay.
Here we go. I liked this place. It's a beachy scene, pretty casual and laid back. We opted for a high top table in the bar as there was a decent wait otherwise. Much of the clientele here were families, many with children, and most of whom seemed to be vacationing/tourists. Lots of good-looking, tanned folks outfitted in sundresses and flip-flops. My husband and I were intrigued by Calice's poke bowl description, but I'm glad we asked our waitress more about it. At the price point of $17 and on the smaller side, we forewent it this time. Instead, we ordered the tuna burger, $10.99, and a side order of grilled veggies, $2.99. Note that all the sandwiches are a la carte, so if you want fries with that burger, it's an additional $2.49. The tuna burger was delicious, a handmade, oversized, perfectly cooked, moist, yellow-fin patty, topped with sliced red onion, lettuce, tomato, and drizzled with both a wasabi cream and sweet Asian sauce. It hit the mark. We requested that the avocado fries that usually top the burger be served on the side. Though they were few, they were excellent. Panko breaded and a unique item. The side of veggie, on the other hand, was forgettable. They sounded good. The menu claimed they were topped with a garlic-infused olive oil, but they were seasonless and lackluster. Next time, we'd try the tropical fried rice, $2.99 as a side. The beers were good and cold, but they were a bit on the pricey side, $6 a pop, and happy hour specials aren't offered on the weekends. Would I return to this place? Perhaps if we're visiting the beach. I definitely aim to go during the week so I could take advantage of happy hour and their oyster/sushi specials.
Okay, here we need to talk about this.
I believe you guys can get this.
No, that is a lot of detail.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with all that detail, like cut off a couple things. So we know it's seafood.
Yeah.
I immediately, when he first started, I wanted to say Salt Life, but
I wanted to say Coop 303 at one point.
oh god, Cube 303,
But it
that
got-
was out
it got
so
blocked
fast.
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was out so fast. But I wanted to say Salt Life really bad, but then he said the fries aren't included. I know I'm almost like 100% positive the fries come with the meal. So we know it's seafood, and we know it's a higher end seafood place.
And there's a high top bar.
There's a high top bar. The drinks are a little expensive. Well, the beer specifically is a little expensive. Ooh. This is tough. This is tougher than I thought it was going to be. Because then once he started going into it a little bit more, he started talking about one thing, and I was about to say Safe Harbor, but it's like there's no way it's Dockside.
No, it's
But
not.
it's not Dockside at all. There's no way. It would have. What is it? He said a tuna burger or something like that. I was like, there's no fucking way it's Dockside.
They would have said something about the fried chicken sandwich.
They
too.
would have immediately.
Damn.
What do you think, guys?
Oh my god, I'm trying to.
Have we said it?
No.
I will tell you, Dockside we did last week.
What's the what? Can you tell us what beach it's in? Atlantic, Jacks, or Neptune?
It's either Neptune or Jax. if that
Okay,
gives
that's
you a
perfect.
hint.
That's
If that
perfect.
gives you a hint.
That's perfect. So it's right there on that border somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Ooh.
And don't crucify me if I'm wrong about
what's
the
it called?
geography.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
I was talking to them, not you.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think because it's.
Is it on First Street? What's that one on First Street?
Not between Jacks and Neptune.
Yeah.
Between? On First Street?
Yeah.
Is this a house?
No. There's a little restaurant.
But would the little restaurant be that expensive?
I know what you're thinking. It's not that one. It's not the
Okay.
refinery.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, the refinery.
Yeah.
I've never even been there, so I wouldn't have known that menu that well. I'm trying to think.
I'm stumped.
I'm stumped too, but we have to pick something.
Go with
we
your
have to
gut.
pick something. We have
Go
to pick
with
something.
your
I
gut
was-
on this.
Low key, I feel like Margaritaville because he mentioned the like tourists
That's
and they're all.
definitely Jack's Beach, though.
That is true, Jack's Beach. Facts.
Go
That
with your
is
gut.
facts. Oh God.
Can
Okay.
I look at the map?
Don't look at the map because I'm not even sure about my location. You have said it.
Oh, we have said it.
Shit.
Okay, then
That's your last.
Let's go
hint.
Salt Life. Let's just go with the original one.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's go
Yeah,
Salt
yeah.
Life. Salt Life.
Salt
Food Shack.
Life.
No way.
You guys got it,
Brother, good.
Is that Jack's Neptune or is that
No, that's
totally
Jack's.
Yeah,
But
that's Jack's.
I think
I
the
was gonna
cutoff
say
is,
I don't know where the line is. I just learned where the line is for Atlantic and Neptune. People are like, "You idiot! It's Atlantic Boulevard." And I was like, "Okay, I know that now."
No, if you don't live at the beach, it's hard to know. It's the line is right there, kind of in between Fletcher Middle and Fletcher High School, like
Oh,
Seagate
now
Avenue.
I know. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because I go there all the time. I just
Yeah.
didn't know where the line was.
No,
So,
for sure.
Yeah, no, that's for sure a Jack's
Dude,
Beach.
that
That's
is
disappointing.
No, but I mean,
For me.
but no, the fact that you even got like the Jack's Beach part. I mean, a lot of people probably would say that's Neptune Beach.
But we
You know
got
what I
it.
mean? Dude.
You
That's
did
good.
good. Yeah,
and that
man.
was my first suggestion.
I was
That's
gonna
good.
say
Yeah.
I wanted you to get the points for that because your first inclination was right.
But
I
I
don't
don't know the fries are sold separate. That's
But
crazy.
I don't know
I thought they came
how
with
long
it.
ago that review was from. I tried to look, and I didn't want to like give it away, but like
I
they
haven't been
might
there in
have
a minute.
changed it.
I haven't been there in
a
a
long
minute,
time,
so
I
that's-
I wouldn't know. But
That's
I
a
picked
good
a
one.
kind of a touristy spot that you guys.
Yeah,
That's a good
probably
one.
have
Once
been
he
to.
said that there's like a few people that were dressed like in beachwear and stuff like that, I was like, that's got to be Salt Life.
touristy oyster
Margaritaville's
sushi.
pretty good too. That's a good guess.
I haven't
Yeah.
eaten there. It looks awesome. My company
Yeah.
had like a party there, but it was not like order from the menu party. They just like brought a bunch of stuff.
Okay,
to
here's what I'll
space.
tell you. Here's what I'll tell you. So Salt Life is it's good eating, but it's not like it's like higher end seafood, but actually I wouldn't even say that. It's just got the higher end price tag, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if you really want some good seafood, really Dockside's your
Dockside's
spot.
the best.
Yeah,
Or
Dockside is so good. Even though I get the fried chicken sandwich.
or Safe Harbor in
I bet it's
Mayport.
good though.
Oh,
Safe Harbor and Mayport's legendary.
It's
I
fire.
like. It's a little bit more run down, but Singleton's right next to it, next to Safe Harbor's good. But
sure.
I honestly think Safe Harbor and Dockside might be my top two as
The
well.
Yeah.
hush puppies at Dockside
Are
oh
so
my
good.
God.
Someone complained about them in a review, and I was like, "What did you eat?"
They
Because
have problems.
everything I've had there is amazing.
They're probably
Yeah.
from up north.
Some
True.
people just are picky to be picky though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But Dockside, I was like, I did one last week, and I had to settle on a 3-star. I was trying to find like a 1-star, but all the 1-star reviews for really good restaurants are like, oh, it took too long or something.
Yeah,
Like, it's like,
exactly.
okay, this isn't gonna. You can't guess this.
So what about? Have you ever been to the place, Joe? You're gonna have to help me on this one. It's a place that's right there at Beach and Third, a little bit. Like you got to turn right on Third, like you got to turn south on Third a little bit, and then it's right there on your right hand side by that stoplight.
That
What's
the
the
place is about to sell. I think. Actually, I
Dude,
don't know if I'm
I've-
supposed to say that. or
Bro,
not.
they've been saying that
Ignore
for
that if
so
you heard
long.
that.
They've been saying that forever. Like I'm
Okay.
a Beach boy born and
It's like
raised.
Harry's Seafood or something like that.
Something like that. It's very.
I've never been there. No.
It's I think it starts with a P almost or something. But anyway, that place I've heard they have really good seafood, but I just don't have the balls to go in there and try it. It's
Yeah,
like
I know, I
very
feel
like
that.
I don't know, just something about it. Technically, actually, those places that are kind of like more run down usually have like
Have
some of the
better
best
food.
food.
It depends. It's like
Depends.
50-50.
I'd
yeah.
like to see the kitchen.
Yeah, facts.
Let me
Yeah.
just look at it.
Like this morning, we went for brunch. I took some people because they were pretty up for anything. I took them to a place called Say So Sweets. Have you heard of this place? It's a Filipino bakery that does like breakfast. So you can get like I'm gonna butcher any pronunciation, but it was like, you know, the meat and the rice and the egg, and then I got like ube waffles and fried chicken.
Okay.
So chicken and waffles, and they do like all these sort of baked goods. So that place is like tiny. That's an example of it, like a really good place that's like tiny.
Yeah.
But we've been to some places that are tiny. That's like, okay, well, like maybe you're just not doing that good.
There's a place. There's a place by you probably have done a food review of it. It's in Atlantic Beach, kind of by it's in the AB Town Center. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's called Chicken on a Stick.
No, but people have told us to go there.
brother?
And people say it's legendary.
Brother, it is legendary.
Everyone agrees.
And it
with
is a
you.
little tax, but I will tell you right now. I mean, if I'm even in that area, I've got to get some chicken on a stick, and you got to do the teriyaki chicken.
That's
It
what
is
everyone said, yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be in orbit. It is so fire, bro.
Gotta try it honestly because people have been saying it. There's so many places that people have suggested over and over, and it's just we just haven't made
Haven't
it.
made it.
Yeah.
There's a gazillion places in Jacksonville.
I mean, but that's one of those places like I don't even really go out of my way to go there and get something. It's so low key mom and pop. I mean, it's literally like a shack or something, and it's just like the mom and then her kid or something, like just always like some kids like kind of run in the front, and then she's literally cooking. Like you've got your little spot where you order, and then she's got like the little mini grill right here next to it. So you're like watching her make it too. I mean, it's fire,
That's
bro.
kind of sick.
And then El Patro. I'm a sucker. I'm a big El Patro guy.
Where's El Pacho?
Oh, El Patro is right next to Philly's Finest.
That's where we have his birthday every year.
Actually, yeah. So we celebrate my 21st at El Patro. Because my mom, when I was like a child, bro, my mom and my couple of my neighbors, we'd always go to El Patro like once or twice a week. And for me, like I don't know how this is gonna come across to the audience, but I don't like eating at a Mexican restaurant if there's not real Mexicans working there.
No,
like,
yeah,
I want you to barely be able to speak English. That's where you know that's the best Mexican food.
They'll
bro.
take that pretty well.
And then it's cool because like when you go in there, like they're very friendly, and I've known them for a while. But they used to always joke around and be like, margarita. Like I'd be like a kid, like 5 years old. They'd be like, "Oh, you want a margarita?" Yeah. And so then when I turned 21, like I'm like addicted. I'm like, "Hey,
circle.
Ask me that question again." Yeah. And we got turned. That was a fun night at El Patro. Like
margaritas are a really great way to
I love margaritas.
Get messed up.
I'm a sucker. Margaritas are probably my.
Have you been to up in Mayport? There's a place called Casa Leon. It is my favorite Mexican place, I think, in Jacksonville.
I've seen it.
It's another one of those family-run little places. I like Al Pastor. That's my favorite taco ever. So they do it, in my opinion, they do it the best. But I haven't been to El Pacho. Is that what
El Patro,
I did have someone recommend that place to me.
Dude, El Patro's fire. And it's cool. I think it's just, the service also is like really good, which that always helps for me.
When it's like a homey place like that, like generally the service is very good.
Like they're asking about my mom, they're asking about my sisters. They're like
that's the most fun.
I'm like, let's go. Like
when they recognize you, it's a new level of eating out, in my opinion.
For sure. Oh,
some people are like, I just want to be to myself, but like I like that. So
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, shout out El Patro, but they get a lot of bad reviews, bro. Like, they're on the restaurant report quite often. But for me, that's
Mike is their most loyal.
That's what makes it good.
People
bro.
have different opinions about eating out, what's good, what isn't good. I very much vibe with the like, I know these people. I grew up going here. That's a special place.
Yeah.
Screw what anyone else.
If there's a cockroach in the kitchen, like I don't give.
That's Fred. He's just
Honestly,
stopping by.
he's just stopping by, and that's probably who makes your taco.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How do you think the food gets made?
Well, that's the spice part of it. That's how
holds the restaurant together.
In these reviews, you can tell when someone's really mad because they'll always mention a cockroach, whether one existed or not. They're like, "Oh, there was a cockroach in my beer."
Wow.
And the beer is crazy.
Like I was
if you got cockroach
browsing
in the beer,
bricks.
I can't defend that.
I was browsing bricks reviews, and someone was just yelling about how bad their experience is, and they just ended with, "And I found a cockroach in my beer." And I was like,
Yeah, no.
Icing on top. There it is.
Right.
Now I haven't actually
just
ate at
throw
Bricks. I've drank at Bricks quite a few times, but I've never actually ate at Bricks. Have you ate at Bricks? I've heard their food is fire. They have like a $5 burger or something that's apparently really good.
Someone said it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine.
The reviews were kind of mixed, which I mean you'd expect from like a bar like that.
A bar in that area, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of shitty reviews.
Yeah, it was. I think overall positive.
One thing that I have noticed too is a lot of people, if you're like a regular at a restaurant, then you're typically like if you go to a restaurant pretty often, you don't even give a review. Like for me, I give very little reviews unless I'm like out of town and it's a shitty restaurant. It's like my first time going there.
Or you're like, I'm gonna get back at these guys.
Yeah. Do you leave a lot of reviews?
We make the videos,
Yeah.
so that's. But the thing is, like, I used to before, and I'm not doing the whole like I'm not Snacksonville shtick right now. So I'm talking as if I am Snacksonville. There's like a joke in other shows where everyone's like, "Are you Snacksonville?" Like who? Yeah. But anyway, it's dumb. It's dumb. Carrying
I love
on.
it.
But I used to own a food truck before I did all the reviews. And so reviews kind of like hit different for me. And so when at first we just did videos that were just like highlights of the restaurants, just only saying nice things. And eventually our followers would be like, well, you said that other restaurant was really good. And you said this one's really good. Are they both really good? Which one's better?
True.
And so we're like, what I tried to do is make this rubric to like review restaurants my goal wasn't to like do the Keith Lee thing and just do 1 through 10 how much I liked it. I wanted to give the restaurants that deserved it props. So like we give out a lot of like A+ or like 30 out of 30 scores, and people are like, well, is it the best you've ever had? And I was like, well, that's not what the rubric is.
Yeah.
The rubric is like, if they nailed it in every regard, they get full points. Like that's how you know it's a great restaurant. But I'll try to be as like I don't ding service very often, especially if it's just like, oh, my food took 10 minutes longer, because you don't know what's going on. Like the restaurant could just be really busy. Like if your server has a bad attitude and it took like really forever, then you start like thinking about that. But like for us, it's like I just try to be as fair to the restaurant as possible. So I have a little bit of a different mindset on reviews, but I don't do like Yelp reviews or Write reviews or anything.
Gotcha.
We just do kind of our own thing.
So I've got questions about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, why not? Shoot.
Because my girl does the restaurant reviews too, where it's like the videos
Who's your girl?
they go to Lucky Duck Promotions. They do.
I didn't know you were dating Danielle.
No, I'm not dating Cassidy. I'm dating Cassidy.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
No.
I didn't know you were dating Cassidy.
No, but shout out Danielle too. She's really cool, and so is her boyfriend George. But
Noted. Don't want to get you in trouble.
no, he's a good guy. But but they do like the restaurant reviews as well.
Yeah, no, their style, first of all, shout out to you guys. Their style is, oh man, this is a whole tangent, but a lot of young kids try to jump in and do reviews, and they just try to copy everything everyone else does, and that's my like angry soapbox, and that's where I'm gonna keep it. But those two came in and actually made like good, creative, fun videos and did something different, and I was like, please, more of this.
So are you
they
going to
nailed
places
it.
that you want to go to, or are they contacting you and they're saying come in
Sort
here?
of depends where your clout's at.
Yeah.
And like, not to brag, but like we've been doing it for long enough, so we do have a lot of restaurants. We will. Here's the thing: if we just go somewhere organically, and I'm like, yeah, let's review them, but we don't. We'll do that a bunch, and then eventually we just did that so much that restaurants were like, we actually thought when we started doing reviews and like places weren't all getting A++s, that some restaurants wouldn't reach out.
Yeah.
What that turned out to be is most of the chain, like bigger restaurants that aren't quite as proud of their product, they don't reach out as much. And when they do, I give them the spiel. I'm like, listen, we're going to be completely honest. And then they usually ghost us. So like we still get reached out to a lot by, and that's actually why our reviews, especially with our invites, tend to be so good, is because the people who reach out are generally the ones who are like pretty stoked about what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
And they know they'll put on a good good
and
performance.
usually they do.
Yeah.
Like most of the time they do.
Yeah, I was surprised too, because I think for their side, and I'm not 100% sure
They
on this.
reach out more, but
I
they're
think-
also newer.
Yeah, I think on for them, they typically, the restaurants are reaching out to them to go and do it. Like they never even heard of the place before. And
Oh
they're
yeah,
going to
no.
review
And
it.
see, that's once you get to that point, like once they get to that point, it's pretty sweet. And this is a whole nother tangent that we probably can go into off air, but like the tricky part is like then monetizing that.
Word, yeah.
And yeah, that's something we can talk about off air. But like for us, it became like, you know, we have a toddler at home. I have a 9 to 5, so I just don't have time to go around to every restaurant that people suggest and every restaurant that reaches out. So we're just really picky now, and we go to places that sound cool or like just places we want to go. And so I put out much less review content now. I still like to put it out, but yeah, that's my story. So
I
that
like
was
it,
that was
bro.
a complete side trail.
No, I just always am
But
so
that
curious
is,
about
it's
it.
small world, which is crazy because
Yeah.
like there's even like more connections that I'll tell you about just based on meeting them and some of the people they're working with. So yeah, I know it's kind of like a small world once you get into that scene.
100%, bro. Yeah, they're crushing it. So are you, man. It's dope.
Appreciate it. Well, I need y'all's opinion because this next Reddit thread is from a subreddit called Unpopular Opinions. So they're going to share their unpopular opinion, and I've read it. It's pretty unpopular.
We just did this.
Yeah, we just had a segment like this.
I actually remember this. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys did it on your Patreon episode.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Check that out if you haven't.
Okay.
So
He was
this,
talking to them.
Yeah. Y'all check that out. Yeah, I thought you were talking about his.
I was telling
I
you
am.
guys to check out your own.
Yeah.
The one we
I
just
heard
brought
it's
up.
really good.
Yeah. So this unpopular opinion is Outback Steakhouse has better bread basket than both Olive Garden and Red Lobster,
I can't speak on it.
which is is horseshit. But why can't you speak on it?
I honestly haven't had Outback in
Olive
years.
Garden is
Okay.
the sticks, right?
Yeah, Olive Garden
So
is
here's
top
what we're gonna
tier.
do. I want let's do top 5, and we can work on this together. We can establish a certified list for people. Top 5 free restaurant breads.
Oh, this is great. Okay.
Maggiano's.
So Maggiano,
No.
what do they serve?
No.
Is there's
They got all the breads. They got the brown
Yeah,
bread.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they do the variety basket.
And then
Yeah.
the balsamic vinegar with the oil.
I forgot
know,
about
yeah,
that.
that's
I didn't even
butter.
think about that.
But if I'm
place.
gonna get that style of bread, then I want the Carrabba's bread. It's a little softer. I
I
like
didn't
that
even
bread.
think of Carrabba's. This is why I brought you guys in here.
No,
because
Carrabba's
you have
has
a
got-
fresh perspective. I love
Carrabba's has got
this.
the good bread. It's always warm, like solid bread. But
But
I'm
if
not-
we're doing 5, Maggiano's is
now
all.
listen,
Okay.
I'm not even dissing Maggiano's. Like great bread, you know what I mean. But also the Red Lobster has to be on there.
I haven't been there lately.
So the Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster are a must. Texas Roadhouse.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Texas
That one-
Roadhouse is good.
Most people, I actually think Texas Roadhouse might be my number one, but people have argued for Red Lobster's number one. I think it depends who you talk to.
Those
If
are
you're
neck
a
and neck. We
Sweeter,
put those back
savory
to back.
guy.
But then also, I mean, you can't ignore Olive Garden.
I know, Olive Garden
bro.
breadsticks.
I will go in there. I will get full off
Deep
breadsticks.
throat
Yeah.
on those
Yeah.
breadsticks.
Okay, pause.
I used to
bro.
work at Olive Garden. I would house those things.
They're so good, bro.
They're really good.
I'm trying to think.
You take your whole meal home and you only eat
dude.
breadsticks and soup.
Dude, I'm guilty of this. I'll get a to-go box
100%.
and put like less of my actual meal in there so that I can fit 3 breadsticks.
That's right. You ask them for new ones.
Amen. All day.
And they'll
All
just-
day.
just
I'll be like,
shove
my
them straight
meal
in the
comes out. I'm
box.
like, can we get some more bread too? Like that's the go-to.
They know. They know.
I'm trying to think. What's another good one? Because we need 5. So we'll put Maggiano's on there at 5 if you're okay with that.
That's fine. I don't
So
care, as long as it's on
Cheesecake
there.
Factory bread, I think, is not that good.
No,
I don't think it
that's
makes
not
the
on
list.
That doesn't make the list at all. So
let's see,
Cracker
what
Barrel
else?
actually has that free
Oh, I
bread because
forgot
me and
about
Joey
it.
are big Cracker Barrel.
Is that the
folks.
one?
like
with
Cracker
soft
Barrel?
sweet bread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I think the Cracker Barrel they've got those and they also have the little it's the one with the muffins in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cornbread and
And
shit.
we're
Yeah,
not
cornbread.
We're not counting chips and salsa or anything.
No.
That's
Oh
kind of-
no.
that's a whole-
That's
Whoa.
weird,
Because you
right?
know Chili's got that a lot.
I know that's
I'll
weird,
tell you right now,
right?
that
Yeah.
Chili's chips.
That's not. That's, we don't get in there because that's
We
a
can't
whole
throw that
different
in.
thing.
Okay,
right?
so let's go Maggiano's 5. Let's go 4. Let's go I think
Carrabba's.
Carrabba's at 5 or 4 is good. 3 we could go Red Lobster. Because I think it's pretty clear here that Olive Garden's 1, right?
Yeah, I'm comfortable putting all.
I'm comfortable with that.
I'm
as well.
comfortable with
And I know I'm missing one. I know there's some good
I don't
bread
know
out
if
there.
everyone's gonna agree, but I also don't care.
Yeah,
Right,
we don't
yeah.
go. So
This is your podcast. not
that's
theirs.
right.
This is your podcast. This is our
I'm
fucking
Judge
list.
Foodie.
Yeah.
That's right.
You make the calls.
In your opinion's wrong. And then
You can put it in the comments, and I might disagree with it.
Yeah, no, definitely drop y'all's top 5s in the comments because we're curious about what that is going to be. But because I know we're missing spots. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
there's
I
gonna be
know
so
we're
many
missing
that we-
places.
That's the fun part is
Yeah.
they call you an idiot and tell you what you're missing.
Yeah. So Olive Garden 1, 2 Texas Roadhouse.
Okay,
But it's
there
neck
is
to
one that
neck.
I know someone's going to bring up. I don't think I've been there recently. Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen.
I haven't been there.
Do they do
No.
biscuits? Okay, then someone's probably going to bring it up.
That's fine.
But we'll deal with that one.
Hey, that just
We'll
gives us
cross
an
that bridge
opportunity.
when
We'll
we
go
get
try
to
it.
it. Right.
We'll go try it for them.
Right.
And then
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel will be.
Don't they give you biscuits too?
Yeah, Cracker Barrel is good, bro. So Cracker Barrel, you're getting a lot of different kinds of bread, the variety. So we'll go Maggiano's, Cracker Barrel, Red Lobster, Texas Roadhouse,
Olive Garden. I think that's ours.
That's
for
a
sure.
good list right there,
I know
bro.
some. There's some contenders out there. Like you could argue like a Fogo de Chao Terra Gaucha with those little Brazilian cheese breads.
Sure,
I don't.
okay.
I don't know if those make the. I think our list. I'm very happy with our
Now,
list.
I think this is more of a list too of like the common places people can go.
Agreed. I
Like,
agree with
I do
that.
love Fogo de Chao, but
I
I
don't
also
think
understand like
you
not
put that
everybody's
in a
eating
list
there.
with these other guys.
For sure.
It
Okay,
doesn't
I have
make
a question.
sense. Shoot.
Are you a butter or a balsamic vinegar guy?
Where with what? Because with
do you-
like Cheddar Bay
I mean,
biscuits,
with
that's
the
like
bread that
aggressive.
Goes
Either
with
of
the
those,
bread,
I think.
With the bread that goes with either or, which one would you rather have?
I would for sure rather have balsamic.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my
I'm
god,
that
butter
vinegar
all day. You
palate.
guys are
Balsamic.
crazy. No, I'm butter all day, bro.
Are you a-
I love that.
I'm
tangy.
butter all fucking
Do you butter your
day.
pancakes?
Yeah.
See, I
you
just
balsamic
started
your
doing that, and you know what's crazy is I'm one of those guys. I don't know if it's my like tick or whatever, but like I would rather not add condiments to food. I would rather just eat it straight up. And I've just started realizing I'm at this point in my life where I'm like, hey,
Put
they
ketchup
do
on
kinda,
your burger?
That's the thing. If it didn't already have it on there, I would just eat it. I would just raw dog that thing.
Well, now
Cheese?
sometimes
Is cheese a condiment?
But here's the thing.
No,
That's,
cheese is
that
not a
comes on there.
fucking
That comes on there.
Sorry.
no,
Whoa, guys.
no, so
Order in the court.
So if you go, so if, let's say you're at Chick-fil-A and you order something. Do you eat Chick-fil-A like that?
No, I don't. You're right.
Wow, because if you're at
Very
Chick-fil-A,
unequal.
like a place
I
like
always
that,
put something on.
it's too dry.
It's way too plain.
Yeah,
You
for
need
sure.
to add something. But like for example, like I don't have a good example.
What's your favorite
I was just
condiment?
like at the school lunch line. Nope, that's a bad example too. I don't know, man. I guess with my pancakes, I just never added butter. I was just always syrup.
So what do you? Oh, it's just syrup.
Yeah, man. That's fine. But then I
But do you
realized
add
the
butter
butter
and
makes
syrup?
that. I
the
don't
butter
like
makes
that.
it way better now. I realize
yeah.
that. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Brother, the butter
It's the
is
same with
butter
bread.
makes
Like it
everything.
makes
So go for
it way better.
I'm butter on
just
my
used to be
bread all day.
lazy.
But now it depends on the place too, because like Carrabba's, I don't need that butter. Like Carrabba's, I want just the oil and shit they give you.
But like Texas Roadhouse, it is, and it's
Brother,
what makes it.
that is you have
the
to do
cinnamon,
it.
apple cinnamon butter.
Yo, and it's the
Or
best
whatever it
butter.
is.
I forgot about that too. That actually might make Texas Roadhouse go up on the list a little bit.
Yeah.
If we had to
We're
reevaluate,
keeping the list,
Yeah.
but
that's a good. That's
Texas
a good.
Roadhouse could.
You ever
work.
had apple butter?
Apple butter's so good. we
every
feed
time
our
I go to
toddler that.
it's so
He's
good.
addicted to it.
I've
It's
never
so
had that.
sweet.
Dude, I'll bring you some. We're going to Tennessee, and I'll bring you
I don't
some.
even know how to describe it, but it's delicious.
heaven.
Yeah.
I like the what is it? The oh well, it doesn't even really count. I was thinking cookie butter, but you don't put that on bread or
That
anything.
is different, but
It's different.
it is good.
It's different, but it's so good, bro. Like I
It's-
just tried that a couple weeks ago too. It's
It's
fire.
real good. All right, we are going to the
so
next
in sync.
story. This is actually a seamless transition because it's a restaurant we did mention, but this subreddit is called "Am I the Asshole?" And so this story is called "Am I the Asshole for Taking My Clothes Off at the Cheesecake Factory?"
Okay.
So let's figure out what's
Normally,
going
if
on.
you have to ask if you're the asshole, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
But let's hear it.
I'll tell you on this story, Reddit has decided that they are not the asshole.
I'm so
Really?
excited.
So let's get into this. So me, 23 female, and my boyfriend, 24 male, were celebrating our 1-year anniversary and went out to dinner to celebrate. My boyfriend planned it as he knows how much I love the Cheesecake Factory. I really love their cheesecake. This becomes important later. Well, everything was going fine and we were having a good time until an elderly man at the next table scooted his chair out just as our server was approaching, causing him to stumble and spill hot coffee on me down my back. It was obviously burning and startled me, so I instinctively screamed and pulled my shirt up. I'm pretty small-chested, so I don't typically wear a bra, and I obviously wasn't thinking about that when something hot was running down my back, burning me, so I basically flashed all those at the tables around us. Yes, I was embarrassed, but at the same time, it's just boobs. I pulled my shirt back down right after realizing what happened, but it was up for about 15 seconds. The server apologized over and over, but it wasn't their fault. It was all just an accident. Well, anyway, after this, my boyfriend wanted to leave, like immediately leave. He said that I was being overdramatic for the way I reacted in this situation, and maybe I was, but it did startle me really bad, and it did burn. He told me I'd put on a show for everyone in the restaurant, especially since I screamed when it happened and that we need to leave. I told him it's not that big of a deal and I really want to stay and get cheesecake because it's my favorite. I eventually even offered to try to get some to go, and he was dead set that we needed to leave and didn't understand why I wasn't mortified. We ended up staying, but for the rest of the day, he kept saying that the men at tables near us were staring at me and probably thinking about me inappropriately, but I said it wasn't my problem if they're being gross. When we got in the car, he told me I ruined our anniversary for making him sit through that, and we should have just left, and he can't believe I would choose a piece of cheesecake over his comfort. We argued in the car the whole way home about it, and now we haven't spoken at all today. Am I the asshole?
No, I don't.
He's
See,
the asshole.
Reddit was
Well,
pretty,
you know,
yeah.
Now,
Reddit was,
here's the thing. Yeah, he is the asshole, but a good boyfriend in that situation, like, I mean, there's plenty of napkins. On the
Cover
table.
her.
Cover her up. Yeah, and you know, like, what is he doing when she's ripping her shirt
If
off?
he's
For
so
15
worried about
you
it.
have 15
Great
seconds. So are you sitting there just like admiring her titties too?
That's
because,
a
like,
great question.
She did mention in the early part that they're not huge tits. So I mean, it's like technically like,
Flat chested is what she said, but
well, that would be not right.
Yeah, no, you got it. You got it.
And so technically, I mean, you know, actually, would a good boyfriend just rip his shirt off too?
they both just match the energy.
That's a
Match
really
the
good
energy.
question. I'm
No,
trying
that's
to-
I don't think she's an
boyfriend
asshole at
sounds
all.
insecure.
Boyfriend's definitely insecure.
For
now,
sure.
now, good boyfriend, you notice a couple guys over at the other table like doing something inappropriate towards your wife, you confront it.
say, hey,
Yeah, you,
Don't
I mean,
look
you
at
don't
her.
gotta be like that, but you can just like give them the eye back, like you know what I mean? Do we have a problem? You know what I mean? Something like that, just you know, simple.
So here's my question. From the very little I know about your girlfriend, she is very fun and more extroverted. Is that about right?
Sure, yeah.
So my wife is very extroverted, and I am, at least in public, I am not a crowds guy. So there's been times where like we're at a wedding and my wife's yelling across the dance floor for me to come dance, and I just want to die in
You're
that
stuck.
moment. That's just who I am as a
Yeah.
person.
Yep.
So I don't excuse his actions, but I do understand what he was feeling.
I understand what he was feeling, but also like if your girl is
You gotta also understand what your girl just went through.
for sure,
Like,
facts.
she's-
Exactly. You have a choice in that moment to choose how you're feeling or choose basically your
now
girlfriend.
if it's cold water, that's a whole different situation. If she's lifting her shirt up for the cold water,
She's
forget
got a little
about
cold
it.
That's
water.
like
Yeah,
Panama
like,
City Beach
come on, no, that's
2020.
terrible. Oh, dead ass. But
Yeah.
but if it's I mean the hot coffee, it's like if it's just an instinctive reaction, she's just trying to like get the shit off her. And if I'm in that situation.
And it's your anniversary. Like, let's
If
not
I'm
make
in
it
that
That's
worse
the
than it already
thing.
is.
Yeah, it's such a big event. It's like you're kind of choosing to ruin it.
Yeah.
Because
Sure,
she's
yeah.
wanting to like just roll off of it, which I think is that is a much more mature response. Because also you're never going to see those men again. Mm-hmm. Who cares?
And what can you
Facts,
do? It already
facts.
happened. Like, you might as well just
like
get
even
over
if
it.
you were in town center, it's like it doesn't matter how busy it is. You're never going to see any of those people again, most
Yeah.
likely. And if you do, you don't know them.
Right.
Exactly, facts.
So-
I don't. I mean, also like, have the guys that saw her lift her shirt up? Have they never seen boobs before? You know
I'm
what I mean?
sure if they're
'Cause it's
older
like-
men, they've seen their fair
exactly.
share.
So it's like I don't know if I'm in that situation. I'm more of like just like what can I do to comfort my girl in that situation?
Right.
Like I'm not trying to make this any worse than it is. Like
That
shorty
is-
just got
yeah.
hot
And then
coffee
when
spilled
for
on her.
sure-
when
Like,
we sit down, I'm gonna say thank you for showing me.
And
your titty.
actually-
That was-
no, for sure. I'm honestly, I'm like,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really made my day. Happy anniversary.
this is my great day.
For her, it might actually be a blessing in disguise because she just saw his true colors.
True. Yeah.
No facts.
So she might be
Facts.
dodging a bullet at the end of the day. This being like even I'm not gonna lie, like I don't think Reddit's the best place to air this stuff out. But if the Reddit comments can like show her that like, hey, this is probably a red flag, like she
Is
might
that what
be
the
able to get
comments
out.
were?
Yeah, it could, basically, like they'll put a little sticker on it depending on what people comment, and this one was like for sure she's not the asshole.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think
So-
she's the asshole. In that
She might have
situation
got
at
some
all.
perspectives. She's still very young, real easy chance to get out of this one.
Yeah.
Move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely mentioned that they were both pretty young too. So I mean, it could be just, but it's an anniversary, so they've been together for a minute. So I
year.
was gonna say, I was like, she could just get out of it very easy, but
I don't think a year's a long time.
It's
but
not.
no,
some
it's
people
not. But I'm just saying, like, it's a little bit different getting out of a year-long relationship versus like this is the first
yeah,
date.
like even like a couple months.
Oh, for sure.
It is way different. You're right about
That's a good one. But at the same time, I think even if I felt the way that guy felt, maybe you just wait and address it in the car and say something like,
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
your date, and then after
made
once
it
you,
worse.
once you get in the car, then you can say something along the lines of like, hey, like next time this happens, like
I don't
maybe
even
do
know
it.
if you.
No, keep your shirt on, but maybe do it like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Like
cut the
15
time out.
15 to stretch. You know what I mean?
I think when one of you guys said it, but it was kind of on him. Like I think it really was like he was sort of the one who was supposed to either like cover her. Like
Yeah.
it's totally on him. His reaction,
sure.
because like in that moment, what else was she supposed to
Dude,
do?
that
Right.
power move though, if you've got the napkins right there, you know they got the folded napkins. Just grab them real quick, bro, and it's 15 seconds.
That'll
like,
look good.
Dude,
That-
that's a power move
that'd
right
be
there, bro.
impressive.
And then you
People
can even
would
hold the
respect
napkin
you
up
for
and then
that.
look at the dudes at the other table
Be like,
and be
"Don't
like,
look."
Yeah.
like use your imagination, homeboy. You know what I
That's
mean?
right,
That's
yeah.
good. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
I like that
interesting,
too.
bro.
I think we've come up to two very good conclusions. I think 3 conclusions so far. The list we
for sure.
passed judgment on this one, the first one. I'm gonna do one more Yelp review, and this one's a 1-star review. And then the last story I have is the most unhinged thing I've ever read. So
Okay, here
I'm
we
pretty
go.
excited for that. So this Yelp review is a 1-star Yelp review. So have you guys heard of Sugar Factory? Mm-hmm. So this one's
Too
at
much
the one
sugar.
You're right.
The one
This
in
one's-
Orlando?
This one's the one in Orlando. So this is a 1-star review about the one in Orlando. I didn't know very much about it. This review actually did a pretty good job of
I might have read
communicating.
this.
Yeah, it's written
It's the
by
one I went to.
Joey A. Okay, this was quite disappointing, and I normally don't give 1 stars, but all the 1-star reviews start like that.
Yeah.
We're celebrating my son's 16th birthday. Since we are avid Orlando people, I said I would book his dinner at the Sugar Factory since the vibe always seemed to catch my attention. Our reservation was at 5:30, so it was an early dinner for a party of 7. We were seated at the bar, and the bartender was our server. I wouldn't like that, first of all, if I reserved
16-year-old,
and then to
you're
be
at the
sat at the
bar?
bar.
Yeah.
Well, no, for sure. No, yeah, like.
I would already be a
For a
little annoyed.
16-year-old's birthday, you're at the bar. That's crazy.
Well, no, I don't, is it alcohol? Do they serve alcohol here?
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
been
They,
there.
yeah, they have the really
Oh.
big, fancy social media drinks, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With
Gotcha.
the,
That's
with
this
the
place.
dry ice and it smokes and
Oh,
everything. Yeah.
okay. So we're
Which
talking
is a
about that kind
cool
of place.
place.
It's cool, yeah.
But like if I had a party of 7 being sat,
At the bar.
maybe
Maybe they mean in the
no,
bar.
okay.
Candy
So
bar?
maybe it was a table in the bar. That
the
makes
bar
way
area,
more
true.
sense.
True.
And but so she keeps going. She says the bartender was our server while still acting as the only bartender for the restaurant, so her service was probably not good. We ordered a non-alcoholic goblet for our son, which was a blue lemonade, and he enjoyed it. When it came time to order the food, we were told that some holiday items were not available ahead of time, so that was okay. When she came around to get our order, my son ordered the grilled cheese. I ordered the shrimp Caesar salad, and a friend also ordered the grilled cheese. Some of the other orders were multicolored sliders, grilled chicken sandwich, holiday French toast, and bacon blue burger with no bun. Our food came out, and my friend did not receive her grilled cheese. We had to flag down the waiter. Remember, she's pulling double duty, so we didn't see her very often, which made us feel bad for her. She went back to the kitchen to tell them that they needed a grilled cheese. About 10 minutes later, a plate was brought out, and the bread had not touched the grill, and the cheese was still solid.
That's
The
a bad look
yeah,
right
that's-
there.
that's-
I don't.
Okay, so we're off to a pretty bad start.
Mm-hmm.
The waitress knew this was an issue when handing it to her and said, "Yeah, this doesn't look good. Do you want to keep it or send it back?" She should have just not
Just
taken
took
it
it.
out.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That's rough. After sending it back, the manager politely came to the table and asked to add the grilled cheese. He then said, "I heard you refused the dish we brought out," apologizing. He mentioned it would be taken off the bill. Another 20 minutes go by and still no grilled cheese. Honestly, no one was angry because it became quite comical. We ended up getting the grilled cheese after everyone else finished eating. That's rough. That's a
That's-
grilled
yeah.
cheese.
Bro, how long does it take to make a fucking grilled cheese? I mean, even 10 minutes is like kind of a
that's
stretch,
some
right?
real bad execution.
Yeah. If the grill's hot, like.
All right. There were other small issues, even down to billing. All in all, my major disappointments is they don't offer a birthday dessert song. Okay. Basically, you have to order an actual dessert, and they will add a sprinkler, I think she means sparkler, and allow you to choose a hype song for them to come out to. Our son didn't want the dessert, and so we just wanted a song. It literally costs $35 to have them play a song and sing. They will nickel and dime you for a birthday song and to play Run DMC. All in all, it was overly disappointing from service, food quality, and the way they will price gouge you for everything. So
Okay,
do we
for-
think this review is, do you think 1 star is fair?
No,
for
that's
this?
definitely
It's
fair.
valid, yeah.
But I will also say, like, you know, I guess if you're 16, it's a little bit different. But the birthday song thing is like, that's just more
I
of
don't
a,
think they owe
that's like
you
a courtesy.
that.
They don't owe
Right.
you shit for the birthday song. And I'll be 100% honest. If you're like a 40-year-old man and you got like the people coming out, and like if you're in a Mexican restaurant, they got the sombrero and shit, and they're coming out and they're doing the whole, like, that's extra.
Yeah.
And I sure as hell don't think, I mean, don't even offer that as like a payment on the frickin' bill. You know what I mean? Because we did a birthday song for you at
Did you pay for it?
Maggiano's. I did not pay for it, but they asked me if it was anyone's like birthday or whatever. And so me and Nate kind of like whispered,
And
and,
that's
we were
good
like,
service,
let's
yeah.
do it. So that's, but then again, like
So here's my big question, because I read this, and the big question I had was like, you know, we have all these restaurants popping up that are like basically like social media restaurants. Like they want to make these dishes that people film and put on social media, and they get notoriety that way. And then a lot of the times we see them kind of like not being that great as far as execution. Do you think that's a valid lane to like do like the crazy birthday dessert and charge like $35 and play a song? Like, do you think that experience is, I guess, is that like a fair price?
If it's done correctly.
no, that I don't think it's a fair price at all. I think that if you want, like, get the basics right. Like if you want to be a restaurant or social media restaurant or whatever, like you should be able to make a good sandwich, and the service should be like a normal restaurant service.
Right.
Like you can't ignore the basics just because you got good looking drinks. And then I don't think you should charge anything for a birthday song. I mean, I think that if you don't want to do it, you don't have to offer it or whatever, and it doesn't happen. But because there's plenty of restaurants you go to, they're not doing a song for you. You know, I was surprised when they did it at Maggiano's. Oh no, they didn't even do a song. They just brought out the dish, and we all did the song.
Yeah.
We were all just singing to you. Okay, so yeah, like I honestly think that if you're gonna offer the song, you can't charge for it, bro. I mean, 35 is
Yeah,
crazy.
I think
bro.
so. Yeah, the 35 I'm assuming would be for the dessert. I'm assuming they stick a sparkler in it and then play the song you want. It's like to me, 35 seems ridiculous, but I do see why there's a lot of people out there who would pay for it.
No, I see. Oh, no, there's definitely people that pay for it. But if it's
So I guess it's the question of like, if people pay for it,
If
is
the
it
experience
right to
if
do?
you get the experience that you pay for, then yeah. But
Yeah.
do you get to pick any song?
Apparently, you could probably
'Cause-
pick some pretty.
Dude, could you imagine?
Interesting.
you put some
things.
sexy red.
You
would
could.
you?
Oh my god, you could do something so funny.
Yeah.
You could just. It's like the Sugar Factory, bro, and you could put on like. I mean, you could even go like something funny where you do like some old Sugarland song or something, or you could do a. You could even do something where it's like you were mentioning like the sexy red thing, or do like, oh my god, imagine if you played like Chief Keef, like Happy and Sober, or something like that, or
And
just something like just
that's
to be
why
funny
I look
as
at this
hell.
and I'm like, that's actually like, I wouldn't do this because I think it's really gimmicky, but like. People will think that and be like, "Oh, I wonder what I could do," and like,
Yeah.
they'll actually go out of their way to go to a place like this to have that experience, which is
Sure.
It's very interesting to me. It's like, okay, who's the demographic that really likes this? 16-year-old kids seem like a pretty
Well, no, that's what
home
I'm,
run
like
right
Sugar
there.
Factory. I've never been there before, but it does seem like that's a children's like restaurant kind of like.
It's kind of a bar. Yeah, they just cater to both because they have like.
What'd
a
you
whole
get when you
candy
went
store.
there?
Women
I
really
went there
like
to
it
drink.
too. Women,
give us your review.
My head was hurting after. It was sweet as hell. I mean, it lives
Yeah,
up
they
to
have
its
those
name.
sweet
the drinks
drinks,
are
yeah.
very sweet. It was cool. Like, it was a cool experience.
What was the drink you got?
I can't even remember, but I know that shit smoked.
Yeah.
It was cool. Like, it had the smoke coming out of it.
I
And it
think
was
I remember
huge.
you
It was
posted that on your
this
story.
big.
yeah, they do the
Yeah, I think I remember
huge.
that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like that's such an interesting concept. Not for me, but there's a ton of people out there
Yeah.
who seem to get a pretty good kick out of it.
God, that is funny. That is really funny. I mean, the song thing is just so interesting because, like, obviously, if there's a bunch of kids there, like, you're not doing any kind of like Chief Keef or Sexy Red song. Like, you can't be an asshole like that.
birthday.
Surely, it is your birthday.
Yeah,
Facts.
they might put
Facts.
a limit on it or something. I don't know.
True. Yeah, like clean version.
Maybe you pick from a list.
Oh God, if you're picking from a list for 35.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
paying for
Oh
it.
my God, you can forget that 35 and keep your little sparkler too. I'm
Yeah.
done with that.
Like, let me
No.
see the list first.
Yeah, exactly. That is. Yeah, I mean 35 is hefty, but I don't know how expensive the drinks are. So if like the drinks are already like
I would
12
imagine
bucks,
they're
cheap.
Yeah, I would imagine they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, they're
not
You're
cheap.
probably dropping a lot of money there.
for sure.
All right. You guys ready for the last story?
I've been waiting.
So this one I actually have to give a trigger warning for. If you're eating something or have a weak stomach, maybe you listen to this later.
Yeah.
So here we go.
I gotta go.
This one is Am I overreacting? I found out my partner has been putting slugs in my food. I don't know how to forgive him.
Wow. Okay.
Kill him.
No, you're not.
That is crazy, bro.
Oh boy, it gets worse. I, 22 female, have been with my partner, 24 male, for 4 years now. I've never known him to do anything like this, but I noticed he started acting a little strange around maybe a month and a half ago. He started putting fruit on the floor in the garden, and I thought it was a bit weird, and he said he was feeding the mice family that have nested in our shed, so I thought it was sweet and helped him do so. Anyways, he started being really nice to me around 2 weeks ago and was making me food, baking me cakes and stuff, which he never usually cooks ever, so I was so happy he found a hobby. I did notice sometimes I felt sick and dizzy after eating, and I just put it down to lack of sleep/hormones. Anyways, a friend of my partner's came into my work today, I work in a cafe, and said he needed to speak to me when I was free. I was free as there wasn't any customers at this time. He told me that my partner has been collecting slugs from the garden on fruit he has been putting out there and putting them in my food, blending them up. He even sent this friend of his pictures of a bag of slugs he had collected and the picture of blended slugs. I feel really sick to my stomach. I don't understand why he would do this. This is so out of character for him. I asked him why he was doing it, and he accused me of snooping through his messages, which I would never do, and got so angry at me for not being able to take a joke. I feel disgusting. I love him to pieces, but I just don't understand his way of thinking just now. Am I overreacting? I just don't know what to do. I feel lost.
This can't be real.
Oh my
It
God.
can't be real.
That's not real. That's not real. That's
You
there's
don't
no
think
way.
The
this is
fact
real?
that she
No,
would sit there,
that's
type
crazy.
that, and even if she didn't proofread it, she still typed it.
I feel like,
and she
yeah,
thinks that
at the end, she's
not.
like, "Do you think I'm overreacting?"
There's
Well, I mean,
slugs in your food.
First off, let's be honest. Like who the feeds the pet mice that are.
You never know.
That's a weird excuse.
That's a weird excuse, but at the same time, I think that I mean, wow. I don't even know what to say. I mean, if
I'd fight.
oh, I'd be so mad.
And if I'm
I'd
the
be
girl, I'm
so
calling my brother
mad.
or my dad. I'm like,
Well,
come
I would
beat
just.
this dude's
I mean, you
ass.
could just expose him. You could just
Like,
expose him like really well.
Thinking about the things you've eaten and trying to like connect the dots that there were probably like slugs in there.
bro. I would.
It's nauseating.
But now the thing is like, I don't think. Well, no, it's just a wild.
She should have got him back.
Because I've had escargot. Have you ever had escargot?
I think once.
It's
yeah.
really good, and it's like I can
It
eat some escargot.
was pretty good, yeah.
And so, but at the same time, like these are wild
These are
slugs.
garden slugs.
Yeah, like that, bro. I think that if you really want to do something like that, then you should just go and buy some like actual like edible slugs somewhere. But
I don't think he was doing it to enhance the flavor for her.
No,
think
for
he
sure.
had
Why
some
do you think
malicious-
he
yeah, do you
was
think he
doing
tried?
it.
Was he trying to kill her? You think?
I don't know. What do you
Because I'm
think?
sure there's got to be some.
He might
something.
have some screws loose upstairs or something.
Can you
that's
sue
like,
somebody for that? Because if I was a girl, I'd probably go into like trying to sue him or something like that. Or the worst that she could do for like, or I guess the smartest thing she could do in that situation is just expose him on the internet. Like
Which she kind of did.
get
yeah.
the evidence. Well, true,
not really, on
Reddit's
Reddit.
Reddit's different.
This one got a lot of traction.
Really?
Okay,
This one's one of the most popular Reddit
but is there a
stories.
name or like a
Yeah.
picture or anything? Because
So we have an update.
oh my god, here we go.
Edit. I'm receiving messages telling me to kill myself. Please
Oh.
don't do that as I'm highly sensitive just now. I just went to urgent care last night, early hours of morning, and waited and was finally seen around 6 a.m.-ish. I had some tests and I have high levels of aldehyde or something like that in my blood. I was kept in for monitoring and I have some ulcers in my stomach. I was aware of this anyways as I was hospitalized about 2 months ago for a burst ulcer. I originally thought it was stress, but they now say it could be because of poisoning. I could have had an infection of some kind as my temperature is high, but they haven't found anything that could be causing that just yet. They've checked my heart and it's fine. I'm due to have heart surgery this year, though they're delaying it due to ulcers and infections and the fact I keep getting sick, which is okay. I have an appointment to see my cardiologist later. I contacted the police and wrote a statement and was asked some questions. Anyone who knows me in real life, please don't post mine or my partner's name, as the police said it would destroy the investigation. Not exact words they used, but I'm unsure. My ex refused to say anything to the police or to me. However, he did say he would speak to his friend and only him. He then spoke to me. I was not alone. I was with a friend. He confessed to doing random experiments on me starting a few months after we moved in together.
Bro, what?
It started with spitting on my toast, and then the week later he replaced my propanol beta blockers with salt, emptied capsules.
What kind of like what is the experiment?
I want to add he was my medication holder as I have a history of suicide attempts, so he hadn't handled my meds and gave them to me, and that's what he thought would be funny. He also admitted to these things, swapping my Linda McCartney vegetarian sausages with real meat. I have IBS and struggled to digest meat, so I became a vegetarian. He also replaced my vegetarian corn nuggets with his real ones. One of my pet giant African land snails went missing in the summer, and I assumed it escaped as I left the lid open on the box, but he said it had died, and he scraped it out and put it in my curry. I vaguely remember the day he did this, as he laughed whenever I went to eat the curry, and I got real paranoid, so I put it in the kitchen and stormed off. He then brought it upstairs and told me to taste, and I did, and I realized he added loads of chili, and he said he was laughing because he put chili powder in and too much came out. Now I think he must have put the chili in to cover the fact that he put my snail in there. Also, he said he rubbed my toothbrush on the toilet, but then washed it as he thought that was too far. I feel like this is all a dream. It just seems too dramatic to feel real. I'm unsure what is happening on the legal front. He says he didn't know why he did this and that he does love me truly and that he felt compelled to do it, which I understand as I suffer from OCD and get compulsions, impulsions.
Oh, gosh.
And that he really loves taking care of me and he feels like it's his purpose and he didn't mean to cause serious harm. He promises he never did any of this to our animals. I think he could just be stressed as I have mental health issues that could have caused something in him to break from too much stress. I'm really sad and sorry to those I caused concern.
The people telling her to kill herself, that is so funny. Like,
Chill.
no, just because like she's already going through so much shit. Like she already has like
I don't
like heart
understand it.
problems. She's got like she can't digest meat. She can't like do any of these things. And then her husband goes and does these wild ass things. Like,
Maybe they thought it was
bro,
fake.
the pet snail is up. I mean, who has a pet snail for one? But then
Yeah, that's a really exciting pet.
yeah, oh for sure. But then like, but why? I mean. That is crazy, bro. And these experiments are insane. Like spitting on, dude, the toothbrush in the toilet. I
That's
swear
gross.
to God, you can catch these hands for the toothbrush in
You
the toilet.
catch more than hands. I'm going to jail.
The spitting on the
for
toast
sure.
might even like for me.
Yeah.
It's like who like when does that thought
What's the
ever
experiment?
come to your mind?
Oh my God, dude, that would piss me off so bad.
But hold on, like, do you feel bad for her because she's like, oh, I understand because I have
yeah.
no, I feel so bad for this girl.
She's
bro.
sitting here still like defending him
or
in a
Stockholm
way.
syndrome kind of where
But you
she's
never
just-
know
she
where-
thinks she deserves it or something.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say
true.
like you never know like her insecurities. Like if this guy
for sure,
does a lot of things that are like maybe he does a lot of things that she really likes.
So she
or,
puts up with the other bullshit.
well,
That's
I mean, but
crazy.
then again, it's got to be like this dude has to be a king for her to put up with this shit, bro. I mean, that is so next level. I've never heard of it. This has to be a joke.
I don't.
This has to
I
be not
didn't see
real.
anything that indicated it was a joke. I just know it is one of the craziest Reddit stories out there, and I saved it for you guys. I wonder if this guy's in jail.
No,
Can you
he's
go to jail for that though?
for
poisoning
switching out,
somebody?
Yeah, and
true.
switching out people's medication and shit, bro.
Yeah,
with,
that's
like,
got to be a felony.
What
for
the
sure.
But oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, there's so many things about this where it's like, the dude needs to get his ass beat. I think. He just needs to get like taught some kind of
There's
like
something
little
wrong
lesson.
with him for
Yeah,
sure.
for
I actually think
sure.
he needs to get.
He's
checked
going to be
out.
like a serial killer.
That's-
at some point.
that is
That's
exactly what it
I feel
sounds
like. That's
like.
going to lead to.
That is
his
that's-
little experiments. I wonder if this kills somebody. You know?
No, like you're joking, but I'm not
No, I'm not.
joking. Like, oh,
Well, let's just
good.
if we're
'cause-
being honest, like, I mean, some of that shit could kill you if we're
Yeah.
being for real.
Oh,
I mean,
for
The
sure.
medications alone. Like,
and
the
then you just
medication
you
thing, but
write
then-
it up as a joke that went wrong, and then you go do it to someone else, and then that's how you get started, man. You just think it's so
God,
funny.
dude. I mean,
So
that's
funny
not
when
even
people just get
die.
ulcers and die. Yeah.
Well, it's the crazy thing is, I mean, just the bacteria, bro. Like spitting in someone's food can be bad.
I don't get
But-
why that's funny.
yeah.
Well, the thing that I don't understand about it is like
He
he'd be-
doesn't love her.
He'd be the only one that knows about it. Like the snail thing, he's sitting there laughing, but he's the only one that knows about it. So like, why do you think it's funny? Like it's something's always way more funny when
other
it's like
people-
when we're
like,
doing
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, like if
yeah.
we're doing something like it's like a little prank or something stupid. It's like funny because other people know about it and we're all like whatever.
Okay, so here's the question: would you, to a lesser extreme, would you ever like mess with something that you give
No.
to Joey? Like even just like one of those like when we were kids and you dump sugar in someone's water when they went to
Food
the
is
bathroom.
off limits.
Food. I was gonna say food is off limits
We don't
because
play about
Okay.
food.
we're both like semi picky eaters as it is.
Oh, that'll do
but
it, yeah.
also we don't really we don't like if he's got like a half burger or something, he's like, hey, you want to finish the rest of this? We will not share food just because of like the
Interesting.
bacteria thing. Like
I mean,
I used to
that's
work
fine,
in the
man.
hospital and
Germaphobes.
I'm very germophobic. You know.
So
what I mean?
I'm
and
a-
we're close. Like we've
I'm a
known each other
dog.
for
Oh,
like
for
10
sure.
years. Like
One of the questions I asked, we had a guest earlier from No Lemon, which Danielle works with a little bit. And the question was, would you ever eat any food that got like left on a table basically as a server?
Never.
And she said that, and I was like, oh yeah, there's probably tons of things.
Oh
That's the thing. I'm a dog, man. Like I would, if there was like an untouched slice of pizza,
Brother, you gotta be joking though.
I'm not joking, man.
But what if like, because you never know. For me, I immediately think of like, obviously if they're talking and the pizza's right there on the table, like there's gonna be so many germs that are laying on that pizza. But then, what if they go to nowadays, bro, motherfuckers do not wash their hands.
You're
if
not
they're going
wrong.
on there, like they just scratch their ass crack and then they go and grab that pizza and they're like, I don't really want that slice.
We went through a whole pandemic and people still don't wash their hands.
brother, that
I get picked on by my family just because like food safety. I worked in the restaurant for years.
Yeah.
And like if food is just out on
Wait,
the
why do you get picked on for?
Because I am like I will make like
Yeah,
I don't
don't
let
let food
surfaces
sit out.
touch. Like I don't
Don't
I
cross-contaminate.
temp everything up. But like I get picked on.
That's
when
weird.
I'm cooking
And
like
you were doing
like
them
if
a
it's
favor.
if it's the day of on the milk expiration, I don't drink milk
Ours never
anymore.
makes it to the. I smell it and it's bad.
Yeah,
I won't- if
know.
it's even close. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm
touching it.
saying. I don't even think that's crazy. I think that's very reasonable.
I won't even like if I can
The
kinda
not sharing
assume,
food thing, by the way, nothing wrong with that. I'm the weird one for eating other people's
No, you're not
food.
weird.
No. We're not judging you at all.
No.
I'm
You're
saying,
the judge.
Yeah, exactly. True.
You're right.
No, but the thing is I know that we're like very odd because of how picky and not picky
I
about
don't
like the
think that's
food.
picky.
I've
but
never
we're very,
touched his food. Like I've never with it.
Now,
I don't think that's that weird.
If he's got like a fry, like if we're like eating Chick-fil-A or something like that, or whatever, he's got fries and he's not finishing them, I'll crush a couple fries or something. But I will even like if let's say you're at a pool party or something, there's a bag of Doritos getting passed around. Depending on who's picked from
okay,
that bag
that's
of
a little
Doritos, well, because like.
You see that one guy?
Dude,
grab it?
you know,
Yeah,
dude,
just
there's
claiming
always
you
that
have
one
it, I don't
motherfucker where you're like, I'm good on that bag.
Yeah.
Or like I'm just such a germaphobe, man. I haven't always been like that, but I think working in the hospital, they really teach you about how like it actually works.
I could see that.
And bro, just airborne shit.
Yeah.
I will say that having a toddler has made me release a lot of that.
True.
That
Facts.
Kids, I've seen that kid eat cat food.
But that's your kid. That's your kid.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. If it's a
is little bit-
stranger,
no,
it's definitely
you were totally right about that.
because you know like that kid, like you know what she's had her hands on and whatever. It's probably the same shit you've had your hands on, like a door handle or whatever. I mean, I don't know, but I've never had a kid. But if it's your kid, it's like a little bit different. I think
It is definitely different.
Now I will say, if like you're sharing something or it's like whatever, like there's like a vegetable plate or some shit or whatever, and there's little kids digging out of it, bro. You can forget that.
Yeah,
from
I
me.
ain't touching it.
brother. I won't.
Other people's kids are a very good boundary to draw for sure. Even for like our kid, like there's kind of like an understood rule with parents. It's like I don't want my kid to get your kid sick, so I get it.
Dude, whenever people will when it's like a kid's birthday party or something, and they'll he'll like grab his hand into
Yeah.
the cake. I won't even eat the other corner of the cake.
Oh, the smash cake? Yeah, no.
Yeah, not even like if they
I wouldn't
smash it on
either.
their
That's
face, but like
gross.
sometimes you'll see kids like a birthday party and they'll kind of like wipe their finger on the side
I
of
don't
it.
think I would touch that.
Dude, I won't even touch the other corner if it's a giant dude.
Okay, well, different ends of the spectrum, but I get it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just anal about that stuff. I just don't like I'm very, very like germophobe.
That's okay.
So this situation right here, I'm like, bro, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
And the fact
Yeah.
that people are in the comments telling her to kill herself
I
is
think
fucking
my
so foul
theory is
play.
after the first story, they reacted how you guys did and said this is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
facts.
they're like, you were making up.
Oh, true.
That's my only guess because it's the only rationale I can put behind something
Yeah,
so
bro.
insane.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like why would you say that?
God, that is wild, dude. I mean, if it is real, I'd love to have this girl on our podcast.
Reach out.
Dude, could you imagine how
I'd
fucking...
love to have the dude on the podcast.
No, we
I want to hear what's going through
brother,
his head.
brother,
You
that'd
have
be
to
an
cover
ugly
those drinks,
podcast.
man.
Dude, that'd be an ugly,
slugs
that'd be an
flying around.
ugly podcast.
Slugfest.
But if it's
Slugfest,
with the
okay.
girl, at least you're able to kind of like dig deep and be like, why did you put up with this for so long? Like as soon as you found out
Yeah,
like anything,
that's a
like
Joe
the
Rogan
spitting on the
episode,
toast
man.
or whatever, dude.
Yeah, that would get deep.
God, because I
That's
mean,
crazy.
those social clips, bro, of us being like, of her saying like, yeah, I'd put a slug in my soup or something like that, and then, dude, we would have a field day on those questions, bro.
That's not
you know
good.
what I mean? We would go off.
I'm sure.
That's
I'm sure
crazy.
you guys would.
God, that's
get
so
the hard
interesting,
hitting.
bro.
I wish I had more facts to give. The
Yeah.
story is so thought provoking.
Man, that is insane.
So sorry for grossing you guys out. Don't eat slugs.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that might not actually gross out a lot of people that are eating right now because, I mean, that's just
I don't know,
so.
that made my stomach a little queasy.
No, sure, but it's so left field.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like-
right. It's like something that would like never happen.
Do you think
basically.
you've ever had anyone spit in your food?
Probably.
You think?
I don't know. People are animals.
Yeah, but that's like I think the one thing I always think about is like
We eat out a lot. You have to understand.
true. We eat out a lot too, and I think I don't think I've ever been like a asshole to someone at a restaurant, like an asshole to a server with like spit in his food, but I'd almost feel like the reason it probably doesn't happen very much is because that person doesn't want to get caught doing it.
Well, because they might even get arrested for that.
Oh, for sure. I think they can definitely get arrested for
Something
that.
like that.
Yeah, that's nuts, bro.
That is nuts. Well, that was probably the craziest story we've read on this podcast.
Thank you
If
for sharing
guys-
that with
yeah,
ours,
you're
man.
welcome.
That's cool.
If you guys have stories, I will read them. Just email them to judgefoodiepodcast@gmail.com. I guess before we wrap up, I would love for you guys to give people a little bit of an idea of what you talk about. I know I've heard you describe it as you guys are very versatile on your podcast, but give people a little bit of an idea of what to expect from OG Sessions, which, by the way, subscribe to them on YouTube, follow them on Spotify. Definitely check them out. They have great guests, really engaging content. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you guys do.
You want me to give them the opening spiel and
Go
then
ahead,
you can
brother.
run?
Yeah, no, thank you for that too.
All right, so OG Sessions, it's organic, unscripted conversations with artists, entrepreneurs, and athletes. So we don't write anything down. We don't have like a list of questions that we're asking them. We're just trying to sit down, get to talk to them.
I like that, by the way.
like
The
guests are
unscripted
talking.
is, believe it or not, you guys might not know this, but unscripted is rare.
Yeah, no, so that's one thing we've learned. We've been a guest on a couple other shows, and it's not necessarily like some of the shows they'll like claim to be unscripted because you're not reading off a script, but they still have like 30 things lined up where they're like, this is what we're gonna knock out. And I do also kind of envy some podcasts, like how yours, you have like at least some shit lined up where it's like we have things to talk about, but sometimes I do like how we do ours where the guest sits down, you have no idea where this conversation is going to go.
Yeah.
We want it to feel like you're going to lunch with one of these people, and this is what it's like if they're talking with their boys.
And that's the thing is like when you go to lunch with someone or meet someone for the first time, you don't have a set of questions you're gonna. I mean,
100%.
the weird like it sounds like a job interview if you do. So it makes sense that like to actually get the idea of who someone is.
We have a couple of segments we'll throw in, like we do Win of the Week. Me and
I like
Joey
Win of the
typically
Week.
start off. We'll do like 15 minutes of just me and Joey
Yeah.
talking. So that's our time to kind of like talk about shit going
Shoot
on in
the
our
shit.
lives. And then whenever the guest gets there, then we'll speak with them about certain things. I mean, when we first started, I remember I knew at least like 10 people. I mean, backstory, bro, like OG Sessions started because we had a clothing brand. We were just trying to figure out a new way to promote it.
Which makes sense because you guys actually you do merch extremely well.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
bro.
you.
Appreciate
It
that.
looks like the set looks clean. It's very obvious that you guys know what you're doing when it comes to design.
Thank you.
So that is something that is immediately noticeable.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, we have a graphic designer, Halja. Shout out to him. He's he came on the pod a few like maybe a year ago or something. But when we first started, it was like just whatever. Like we just did it to promote the clothing brand. We knew that we'd bring guests on, but we almost thought that like we'd have the guests on and then we kind of like cross pollinate, like promote theirs, they promote ours, yada yada. But then we ran into a ton of issues with the brand, and it really wasn't like. We still could have kept pushing with the brand if we wanted to, but the podcast just was doing so much better numbers.
So much more fun too.
And so much
The
more
fun's
fun.
a big one.
It also took up so much time. I think that's one thing I didn't realize.
People
I
don't
thought
know that.
I thought podcasting was going to be like a very like little
record
like a
it and
side
post it.
hustle.
And you
Yeah.
actually, yours is, so some people are like, for a little bit of background for you about podcasts, some of them are like a hit it and forget it where they're like, just throw the camera footage on, throw the audio on. You guys edit yours and the edits look nice and it
Thank
makes
you.
the podcast easier to watch, which takes a lot of time.
Bro, and it's
And
all
then you put out a ton of social clips, which
Yeah.
takes a lot of time.
Yeah, we edit everything. Like I do all the graphic design and social clips, and Joey does like a lot of the other stuff on the side. And like we're constantly like running platforms and trying to just like stay ahead of like the game, kind of, and have episodes in the bank. But I mean,
The banks are important.
but if we're being honest, bro, like I've we go to a podcasters like meetup thing with all the podcasters in
Actually, I
Jacksonville.
know what you're talking about, yeah.
And just talking to some of those people, it's like if the reason you're doing a podcast is like just for your own like sake of enjoyment
Right.
and like that's what you want to do, then like the hit it and quit it's kind of like okay, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like just record the episode, get it out there. Like this is for you, so once you get your satisfaction
Yeah.
out of it, you're good.
And
But we
whatever
wanna take
level
over the
that is
world.
for
Yeah,
you.
we really want to have like a takeover. We want to like create a business out of it. Me and Joey want like it already does feel like our damn full-time job because we're doing it more than our actual full-time jobs. But it's
Dang.
we actually want it to be like a we want to create a business
Lifestyle.
out of it. Like I look at like shows like the Barstool shows that they all sign, and then even a little bit of Joe Rogan stuff, like $1 million worth of game. Like some of these guys, like bro, they're living the fucking dream because of one podcast. And
Well, that's the thing, and this actually plays into you guys. Is you guys have actually kept at it for 112 episodes. That is unheard of when it comes to podcasting. To stick it with it that long and like execute on the level you're executing at. So it's like the tough thing about podcasts is you like once you're consistent, it seems like you just never know when
Facts.
that opportunity is going to open up, and that's the tough part because you don't know when the reward's coming, but you just keep at it, and
Yeah.
the hope is that doors open up. And sometimes it's not even with the podcast. I'm sure you guys have met some people that have just been kind of a blessing to you in different areas of your life.
dude.
The
So-
connections are
the
amazing.
connections are insane. Like we've gotten, I think the hardest part as we've like continued was there was a time where when we first started, I knew I had like 10 friends that were like artists, entrepreneurs, or athletes, and they'd all be able to like start off the season well. And since we're doing 50 episode seasons every single like week we're dropping, sometimes it gets hard to like find a guest that's going to be like of the same caliber as like some of the other people. But I think if we're being 100% real, like people surprise you, bro. Like a lot of our biggest
100%.
episodes are the ones where we were almost not even going to do it. And then I think people also don't realize how many episodes we haven't posted.
Yeah.
So we've probably recorded 120 episodes. And
Wow,
8 of them just didn't.
Are they in
never-
the bank or you just
No, they'll never get posted.
Yeah, they're gone.
We've kicked out a guest or two before because me and Joey will tell you how it is. Like we're not going to sit here and if we don't agree with something, we'll tell you how it is. But we'll do it in like a very like friendly way. Like we're not going to be like, oh no, f you, you're wrong. But at the same time,
It's
like
more
if
of
you,
a respect thing. Like
Interesting.
we have our 9 to 5s. We take our weekends out and do this like for the city, for
No,
us, for
I mean,
everybody. And then if they're late, and then
I
like,
get that.
they're not doing like they're on their phone answering phone
the
calls.
late thing
Yeah.
is my pet peeve. You guys were very nice, very on time, great podcast guests.
thank you, bro.
Have them on; they're great. So,
Yeah, I
but
appreciate
yeah,
that,
I
man.
really appreciate you guys coming on. I hope it was a fun time.
Dude, this
Also,
is awesome, bro.
I
Are you
feel
kidding
like
me? This is f- dope.
we got a lot accomplished. I think.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool concept, man. You really,
Thank you,
do.
man.
This is
Were we a
this is
good
interesting.
jury? Did
You
we-
were an excellent jury. You
Okay.
guys crushed it. I'm gonna have to do
Appreciate
a
that.
lot of censoring f bombs, but I think it's worth
Yeah,
it.
Nicholas.
Sorry
It's
about that,
well
bro.
worth it.
That's
My
one
mom
thing it-
can't hear those, man.
Yeah, no facts, and that's one thing about our show, man. Is we do let shit fly sometimes. Like it is very.
You know, you can.
You gotta be who you are, man. Which
it's-
I was hoping you guys and you delivered.
Nick
so
is good at it.
Cool.
Really,
A lot of energy, dude.
really happy with our work today.
Dude,
but,
thank you for the invite, bro.
Yeah.
yeah,
Appreciate
of
you.
course, man. But definitely, if you guys haven't subscribed to our channel or check us out on Spotify, subscribe, like do whatever you want. Definitely send me those stories. That's what I'm most interested in. I definitely want to hear your stories.
Yeah,
so.
shoot, I want to hear
Yeah,
it
I
too,
wanna
man.
hear 'em.
Run up those comments, man. We're gonna be in those comment sections too, like looking to see what
Yeah.
everybody's saying about this. So,
Sounds good.
This shit's dope, bro.
All right. Well, thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace.